Hello, fellow mutants.
Hello fellow mutants, welcome back to another video, and in this video we're going to talk about how apparently there may be a Nightmare Before Christmas prequel. Like what? So let's get into the mix of the songs of this video, shall we? So the Nightmare Before Christmas director potential sequel. So Harry Slick. So it sounds like it's like not Tim Burton's idea. Okay, Henry's, and I hope I'm pronouncing his last name right. But Henry Selick is looking back at the 1993 animated film as it turns 30. 30 years after Nightmare Before Christmas was released, director Henry Selick is sharing the idea he has for a potential sequel. In the interview with People magazine, published on Friday, and when was this? So October 13th. So okay, so literally this Friday or last Friday, I don't know. But the filmmaker admitted that he wouldn't be jumping at the idea of making a sequel due to the large amount of work associated with the first film, saying it's a perfect movie that came out at the perfect time, only to grow into something far bigger over the years. He added, "I think Tim Burton particularly feels like, why mess with that? He certainly he doesn't need to make more money from a sequel. He has so many other successes, and so far nobody's come up with a great idea for a sequel. Oh, and so far nobody's come up with a great idea for a sequel. And I still think that Tim gets to decide. And I don't think there's any idea that would convince him." And that's understandable because in my video earlier today, I was talking about how why there wasn't any Nightmare Before Christmas sequels, right? And I was saying that not everything needs to be a sequel. They listed like 2 ideas in the article I was in the video was my video earlier, which I will link in the description below since I'm referencing it. Where I said, okay, if they adapt this, I can see it being a pretty decent movie. They, of course, do it right. I have no doubt that Tim Burton and Henry Selick would adapt it right. But here's the thing, though. I'm not trying to be negative, but not everything needs a sequel. Sometimes it's better to leave things one and done. And even though I wouldn't exactly oppose if Tim Burton and Henry Selick came back to do a sequel, and of course, I would prefer the story to be like a compelling one. Besides, hey, let's just try to make more money, make it a sequel. Yay! Like, I wouldn't be opposed to them making a sequel if the story is good, and that's the only way I would willingly be excited for a sequel. Um, But at the same time, Nightmare, like I don't think like Nightmare Before Christmas needs a sequel. It doesn't need a sequel. It's like one of those things where like it can just like be good enough without any sequels whatsoever. Like some things like what's one movie that I think that can would have like didn't need a sequel? Um Monsters Inc. for example. I absolutely love the shit out of Monsters Inc. And I even love Monsters University as well as Monsters at Work, which Monsters at Work works as a sequel to Monsters Inc. And I even love what they do to the whole Monster Inc. universe in Kingdom Hearts 3, which set after the events of the Monster Inc. movie. But did Monsters at Work and Monsters University need to happen? No. Monsters Inc. was a really good movie where, sure, it was cool for us to get a sequel series and a prequel movie, but those two things didn't need to happen because I think Monsters Inc. was just a good movie where, yeah, the ending created an opening. If they wanted to go with a sequel, they could, but it didn't have to. And I feel like same argument is like it's had with Nightmare Before Christmas, and probably why I feel the same way. Um, which shout out to Monsters at Work. If you guys haven't seen Monsters at Work, it's on Disney Plus. I think it's a really good series. Monster University, I think it's a really good movie, but like Monster Inc.'s where my heart is for sure. But I believe Monsters University and Monsters at Work definitely shows worth getting into. Anyways, let's get back into the nitty gritty being a potential Nightmare Before Christmas prequel. But one idea, so going back to the article, one idea isn't completely off the table. Tillich noted that he may be more inclined to do a prequel. There might be more interesting stories there about how Jack became the king of Halloween Town. As for if any other original cast would return to for another film, Chris Sandron said he absolutely would reprise his role at voicing Jack Skellington. Which I wouldn't be surprised if he reprised voicing Jack Skellington in Kingdom Hearts. And yes, I'm representing Kingdom Hearts because I pretty much am married to that series. And if you guys want to see me talk about more Kingdom Hearts stuff, I do have a Kingdom Hearts channel. The link is going to be in the description below too. So if you guys want to give that channel a subscription, you guys can. Anyways, quote unquote, to quote Henry, fuck yeah! If there was a sequel, I'd be there in a minute. The 1993 stop motion animated movie from the story created by Burton follows Jack Skellington, the Pumpkin King of Halloween Town, as he stumbles into Christmas Town. After being so intrigued about the idea of Christmas, he tries to recreate it in his town instead of Halloween. And if you have Nightmare Before Christmas on DVD or Blu-ray, you guys obviously you can watch that anytime you want. If you guys get Disney Plus, Nightmare Before Christmas is also on Disney Plus. As well as, and I will link my video where I talked about this too, where Nightmare Before Christmas is coming back to theaters October 20th, which I believe is the Friday coming up after this video is going to be out there and recorded too, because Nightmare Before Christmas is turning 30 this year, so they're wanting to celebrate its 30th anniversary. Anyways, I think it's a prequel. I think a prequel would be kind of interesting if like Selig and Brennan do come back, I wouldn't want it to if those two men weren't coming back. Here's my stance. Even though like I was just making an argument where I don't think like sequel and the same thing can be said of prequel doesn't necessarily need to be made per se. Because I think Nightmare Before Christmas is such a good movie where it doesn't need a prequel or a sequel. But as long as the original the original team, like Burden and his partner, in crime, in this case, Henry Selick, comes back to um do a prequel or sequel, I think I'll be like I'll be inclined to see the sequel or prequel. I trust them enough. But I still go with the line where not everything needs to be done with a sequel or prequel. That's just me. But anyways, what do you beautiful people have to say? Let me know in the comment section down below. Love you guys. Have a wonderful day. Be kind to one another. I will catch you in Fellow Mutants later. Later, taters. And love you all.